Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I'm doing a slightly different video. I'm going to be spending 24 hours in Weymouth. So I'm going to sample everything that Weymouth has to offer within the next 24 hours. So that includes staying in a hotel, getting some food, going to see some of the attractions, and hopefully getting on a boat ride, and also checking out the beach. Come on. Now, one of the best places to see Weymouth is actually from the water. As you know, I love the sea and I love boats. I'm not going on this boat though. I'm going to go on one slightly faster. The boat is round here. And the boat is called Buck. There's a rather nice gentleman waiting for me. Good morning, sir. Am I okay to step aboard?
You are.
So this is Sonny from Weymouth Bay Rib Charter, and Sonny, you're going to take me out. Looking forward to this.
Yep.
We're going to leave Weymouth Bay. Tell us where we're going.
So we're going to head across from Weymouth Harbour, which is very picturesque, to Durdle Door, the big stone arch.
And this is a pretty powerful boat. How fast does this boat go?
So on this we actually will only do about 16, maybe 20 knots because it's a cruise and we want your comfort. But it can do 40 plus knots.
Wow. Now, even though it's summer, there is going to be a little bit of a cool breeze out there. I did bring a jacket, so I've got to say thanks to Sonny. I've also got to stick a life jacket on. Wow, life vests aren't what they used to be. They're so much thinner now, but they still do the same thing as you pull that toggle. So Sonny's got a navigation system here. I don't know whether you can see that in the light actually, but it's already pre-plotted the course off to where we're heading. That's where we are right now in the harbour. It's pretty cool actually because it tells us the depth and everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So Sonny, how often do you go out in the summer then?
Anything up to between 6 and 8 times a day. People
can actually rent this boat privately, like what I'm doing as well.
We do private charters.
Not boat parties with alcohol.
Yeah.
Do you like being out in the water?
Love it.
I'm a bit of a water baby myself. It's going to be a while before I can afford a boat actually, so I'll stick to a paddleboard. Do you do paddleboarding?
I've got no centre of gravity, so yeah.
It is quite tough. Look at that beautiful view of Weymouth Bay. So the whole trip will take around about 75 minutes, and it is a great way to see the Jurassic coast. Now, when you're on the land and you see boats out to sea, have you ever wondered what they're doing, what they are? Sonny was just telling me that basically this is a petrol station at sea, is that right?
Yeah, it's called a bunkering barge.
What kind of ships would fill up there?
Cargo vessels, other tankers, essentially anything that can't get into a harbour to take fuel.
Is that always there?
Pretty much. She'll go back in and out to get fuel.
That's crazy.
There's a crew that live on her full time.
Wow. I can't see any prices. How much is unleaded? So this is White Nove, and Sonny was just saying in Old English it's called White Nose. It is beautiful, isn't it?
Oh, it's stunning. It's my favourite place. But what we do see here is deer.
You see deer?
They live up on the corner here. There's a small herd of about 4 or 5 sika deer.
Wow.
And about 3 weeks ago, one of the local fishermen caught one swimming in the sea quite happily.
Really? Deer like to go swimming. You don't think he fell?
He may have done, but he was quite happy swimming around and swam off.
I don't know if you can see that, but there's like a tiny little hidden beach that no one can get to unless they abseil down there. I mean, these cliffs are absolutely breathtaking. Look at that. So here we are now, and we're just heading towards there. Durdle Door. So we've arrived at the Man o' War. Any ideas why they call it that? Just coming up to Durdle Door now. It looks so different from the boat to when you're actually on shore itself. Still looks pretty breathtaking from both sides. It's not advisable to swim through there either. So it's definitely worth checking out the Jurassic coast by boat because it's absolutely beautiful. Gorgeous Weymouth Bay in the sunshine, just look at that. And this is really shallow. You can even see the bottom of the water there, look. You can even see the sand. There's people out on pedalos. There is a pier that's peerless. We'll go and check that out. We'll go and check out a very important statue as well and some of the seafront before we head on to the harbour. So just here is the Weymouth Pavilion. You can see loads of shows here. If you've ever been to Weymouth, you'll know just how beautiful the beach is. The water is so still, it's almost like a pond. And some of the closest B&Bs to the beach are in these buildings here, all very beautifully designed. But this is why people come to Weymouth Beach, because the sand is so fine. This is why it's perfect for sand sculpting, and it's almost like a fine flour. If you come down here and you feel the sand, it's like no other sand that I've felt in the UK before. There's a little kids amusement park just over here, and if you want to see a little bit of sand sculpting for free, you see this kind of shell on the beach, and inside here you can see some amazing sand sculptures. Nice sculpture there of the king. Something I always remember as a kid are these snails. They're not running though, unfortunately. Let us know in the comments if you maybe have had a photo taken on these snails. And the sand here is perfect for beach volleyball. I love the palm trees on Weymouth seafront. Feels like you could be abroad, especially on a day like today. Donkey rides are a must at the seaside. The West Hill donkeys, look. And there's a really cool bar just here. It's called The Boat, and it's like on a big deck. We come out here, get a coffee. And talking of old-fashioned seaside, can't beat a helter-skelter on a beach. There's actually a couple of rides here on the beach during the summer. They've even got Hook a Duck at the front, look at that. I've seen some of these helter-skelters now have bars in them. It's a little bit of a fun fair, look, on the beach. And one of the best views of Weymouth is going up the helter-skelter. And before you ask, I'm not going to be sliding down. I'm literally coming up here just to check out the view. Reminds me of being a kid again. But look at the view out of here. I should have brought a mat really to come down, but I only asked to come up here to get a little bit of a shot. Normally these helter-skelters have these like grooves in, but this one's pretty smooth. So another way to see Weymouth is by pedalo, and it's actually quite cheap, only £3.50. Got kayaks out here as well. How much is a kayak? It's £10? Oh, only £6 actually for a single rider. And there's loads more pedalos actually on the beach up there. Best place to be today. On a deck chair, soaking up the sun. This is why I love Weymouth. It's got everything that a traditional seaside should have, including a Punch and Judy show. Not quite sure when the next show is. Probably missed it. And if you didn't know, Weymouth of course has won the Seaside Award again for 2023 and Blue Flag status for beach and water quality. So Weymouth does have a lot of history, and you can do a heritage trail which starts here at the Jubilee Clock. This was built to commemorate Queen Victoria's Golden Jubilee back in 1887, and it's been standing here ever since. I think one of the charms of Weymouth for me is it's not littered with amusements like a lot of other seaside towns are. In fact, this is probably just the only one that you'll find on the seafront. Next on the Heritage Trail, like I say, I'm only briefly touching upon this, but you've got the King statue here, which is a Grade 1 listed statue. It was built back in 1810 in honour of George III, who spent quite a few holidays in Weymouth. I think between the 1780s and the early 1800s, and it does look pretty impressive here on the seafront. And when you were a royal, if you wanted your dignity and you wanted to get changed before you went on the beach, you would go in one of these. And these actually were used quite a lot in the Victorian age when people wanted to get changed to go down to the beach. Go in one side, get changed, go out the other side, and they'd roll it into the water for you. Okay, it's time for lunch, and actually this is going to be a slightly different lunch to anything I've ever had before. I'm going to try a tasting menu at a Michelin star restaurant. The catch behind me, which is just upstairs above the old fish market, apparently is very good. Let's go check it out. The fishmonger part is still here. Look at this. Fresh lobsters, shrimp, crabs. Wow, the smell is amazing. Yeah, go up here. Hello, nice to meet you.
Lovely spot right here, just
Lovely.
looking into the tank for you.
Oh, looking over the tank, brilliant. Okay, thanks very much. So lunch is at Catch, and this is a bit of a tasting menu. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the food that's going to come out is going to be fairly small, but apparently it's supposed to be amazing. Just starting off with a nice glass of white wine. Wow, that's actually really nice. Really nice and chilled as well. So the tasting menu beginning with sourdough. Look at that. I've never ever been served bread on whatever those are, seeds. And apparently this is Meggie Moo's cultured butter. Let's try it. Oh, the sourdough bread is lovely and warm as well. Just look at that, it's melting. I know it's only bread. That butter's got a really lovely taste to it. So now I've got Portland crab dumpling with sesame seed, pickled ginger and crab broth. And apparently you're supposed to sip this as well afterwards. Don't know if I'm going to be able to use these. I'm sure you'll tell me there's a way to use these in the comments, but oh, yeah, I think I've done it okay. Let's try a little bit of this. Try a little bit of this broth as well. Okay, I've just dropped it. I'm not a big fan of like fancy food, but wow, this tastes really nice. I'm supposed to try this broth as well. Wow, it's really weird because you wouldn't think to sip that, but it's got quite a kick with the ginger as well. Look at that. People are probably looking at me because I'm not using the chopsticks correctly, but I'm going to go all in for this. Cheers. That is really nice. So next on the menu, you've got a roasted scallop, a bit of courgette and lemon verbena, whatever that is. I've actually never had scallop before. Do I cut it or do I just eat it whole? I'm going to cut it actually. Looks very succulent. I know that Gabby would like this kind of food. She loves seafood. If you love seafood, you've got to definitely come here. First time trying scallop. It's lovely. So this is the main, the catch of the day, freshly landed. This is sea bass. Oh, look at that. Wow, that melts in the mouth. Now it's important with the tasting menu, you do it slowly. However, I'm actually quite hungry, but doing it slowly to savour every taste because it is absolutely amazing. I mean, look at that. Look at that little cherry tomato there. It's actually been peeled. And then just like explodes in the mouth with flavour. Wow. It smells amazing. It's definitely the flavours that really pop. I mean, so little strawberry, you wouldn't think it would have much flavour, but it does with the creme fraiche and that citrus or lime that we've got on it. Really nice. So if you wanted to do that, that's £40 per person, but definitely worth it because it's a taste sensation. I tried a tasting menu once in Gibraltar and it wasn't quite like that. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, absolutely amazing. And actually, you would have thought to yourself, well, you won't be full after that. Yeah, quite comfortably full. Very nice. Wow, look at that, preparing oysters right on the harbour. That's what you call fresh. So the harbour is definitely the place to go for lunch, and also just to have a really lovely walk around. The Georgian's also quite a good place to go for a drink and for lunch. Another great place to come is Sand World. There's 15 sand sculptures behind those gates, all created by leading international sand sculptors. Every year they have a different theme, so let's go and see what this year's all about. And what's great, it's all weather, so even if it's raining, you can come in here and check it out. They almost don't look real. So they close in, I think it's about November, and then sand sculptures from all over the world fly in to create these masterpieces, and they are pretty amazing. Wow, look at that. The detailing is amazing. Doctor Who, very big fan. E.T. look. Look at that. Wow, that's amazing. Can even add some colour to them. What was that, Scooby-Doo, The Simpsons? That is brilliant. I think this year it's definitely a movie theme. It's like Predator and Alien, isn't it? Look at that. And throughout the season they do a little bit of recarving, and if you're lucky you might see them doing it. I think I've just missed it today though. They've got the hose, the waterlet and the shovels. The detailing on these are just amazing. And there's a nice little cafe at the end. And I think here you get the chance to build your own little sand sculpture. You can see how fine the sand is in Weymouth. It's absolutely almost like flour. So it's about £7 for kids and £9 for adults, and it might not be the biggest attraction in the world, but it is pretty interesting. Okay, so right now I'm at the Sea Life Centre in Weymouth, but not to go and check out the Sea Life Centre, but to go behind the scenes, because they do about 3 or 4 different times a day a behind the scenes tour of the Sea Life Centre. So let's go and check it out. So how old are those penguins? How many days old?
Krusty's the oldest one. He hatched on the 21st of May, so he's around about 5-6 weeks old now.
Oh, bless them.
And it won't be too long until they're ready to move up with the adults.
You see their bits of fluff just coming off.
Yeah, that's the sign that they're leaving their childhood behind them. Fairy penguins are only with their mum and dad 2 months. Don't touch the water either.
Okay.
Here we go. Right here. Some baby stingray. We've got a mum and dad in the tropical lagoon, and we had to take these guys out straight away because mum and dad rays will eat their babies if they are left in there.
Oh, yikes.
Oh, you're quite lucky there, guys. They don't normally swim right up to the glass like that.
So would you call this area a little bit of a fish hospital?
We call it the quarantine area. Yep. So part of its purpose is a hospital, but also by law, any animal when it arrives from another institution has to spend 30 to 40 days in this area so that it can get routine vet treatment and also a general checkup from the aquarists, the animal care team staff, to make sure they're healthy to go in without animals.
Look at that, there's so many of them.
It's beautiful.
Yep. This is the big-bellied seahorses, everybody. So these guys came to us from Chesterton World of Adventures as part of our conservation breeding programme. Oh look, we've got a little tug of war there in the middle. This is natural behaviour though, that's how the males fight. They play tug of war. So perfectly natural to see this.
I've never seen a shark egg before. That's a shark egg.
So Greg's a little baby here. He's actually tripled in size since he arrived here, and he is actually waving to you guys. So he's actually gone pink here with a touch of pale. So that means he's actually pleased to see you, but he's a little bit shy. So yeah, the reason we've got the bricks on is they're very good at getting out. One guest was actually telling me on this tour that his office had octopuses, and every morning when they came in, they found that the lights in the tank had been turned on, and the manager one day set up a camera to find out what was happening, and it turned out the octopus would climb out, crawl along the wall, turn on the lids on the lights, and then go back into
No
its
way.
tank.
They're very intelligent, aren't they? They really
They
are.
super intelligent. They've got 9
Stay there,
brains,
don't get
3
stuck, yeah.
hearts, blue blood, and not a single bone in their body. There's a pipe under the road, under the beach, stretches out into the ocean, brings the water into that.
So all the sea life centres around the coast actually use seawater from...
The coast.
As far as I'm aware,
Yeah.
most of them do, yes. I'm not
A lot of people don't realise
every
that.
sea life does, but they've
yeah.
got the option to.
But you do here in Weymouth.
Wow.
Yep, we do here in Weymouth.
There is sharks in here. Do they? Hang on, here they come.
They're well behaved sharks, but can't take the risk.
Don't want to fall in there, do we?
Nope. Here they come. Look, here they come. Beauty and the big stuff in these two.
So what are these sharks in here for? Are they going somewhere or?
Yep, they're going to other sea lives in the not too distant future. So these guys originally lived in the ocean tunnel, but that's the deepest tank in the park. So when we relocate them, it would have been quite upsetting for them if we had to lift them out and then carry them a long distance. This way it's much easier because all we need to do is just lift them out, pop them in their transport boxes down there, and then they can go tanks even, transport tanks down there, and then they can just go back to relaxing.
Wow, isn't that clever look? And what's great is once you finish the behind the scenes tour, you then can go back into the Sea Life Centre and have another good look around. But I know most of us have seen a Sea Life Centre, so I thought I would go and do a behind the scenes tour, which was actually really interesting. And compared to most sea life centres that I've been to in the UK, I think Weymouth is actually really good because a lot of it is outside. It's all spread out. It's not all under one building like some are. They even have a little splash zone for the kids. Let's just have a quick look. They've got like a rock pool area, so you can see all stuff that you would see just off the coast of Weymouth, like all the starfish, also these sea urchins. Check out the penguins. Look at all the penguins. I tell you what, it's very smelly around here. I think they've just been for a swim. I think that must be the biggest turtle I've ever seen. It's where we would see the seals if they're out. Well, they're out, but they're just in the water at the minute. Look, there's a seal there, look. I'm from Norfolk and I see these on the beach a lot, especially in the winter. You can go underneath and check them out and see them swimming around. And because of the sun's rays, they are actually swimming on their backs to get the sun's warmth. Look at them go! Seals everywhere! So let me show you where I'm staying tonight, and I'm actually rather excited because I haven't stayed in the Best Western. So I'm here at the Hotel Rembrandt, which is literally just yards away from the seafront. Come on. $212. And this room is very nice. I checked in late last night and yeah, I was very happy with the room. The biggest bed ever. As you know, I love lamps, so I've had to turn the lamps on to give you that coziness. A nice little chair beside the beds. Got a radio alarm clock with Bluetooth. So I'm just charging my drone right now. Got a phone by the bed, but this bed, I don't know if the camera does it justice. I've got a wide angle lens on the camera, but it is absolutely massive. And I love all the natural light coming in. Huge telly over here, a little bit of a workstation where I have actually been working. I've got a mini fridge, nothing in there though, but plenty of tea and coffee. And it is stacked. Yes, I have opened the custard creams already. I've had a custard cream, but got shortbread, digestives, chocolate creams. Look how much milk. There's sugar, there's tea, there's coffee, there's hot chocolate. And yeah, I've already used that and the kettle's good. Like a whiskey glass. Very nice. The view, well, not much of a view really, just onto the car park. You can't see the sea from here, even though literally the sea is just over there. And then we've got the bathroom. What I love about this bathroom is the size of this shower. Look at that. It is so long. Choice of a waterfall shower and a little shower by the side. That stuff smells really nice. I love the marble in here as well. And check this out. So this is the mirror. If I press this button, look at that. I want that in my house. That is well snazzy. Someone will probably tell me, is this a queen bed? It is so big and comfy. So the hotel has got a spa. It's got a swimming pool, which I'm not quite sure whether I can film in there. It depends if anyone's in there. And it's also got a bar and restaurant. I'll also be having breakfast in here in the morning as well. So let's go and check out the rest of the hotel. So to get to the pool, down this way. This must be a pain to clean. I feel bad saying this, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of a hospital. This is the bar area. There's a restaurant in here too, which I'll probably have breakfast. What's good is the restaurant looks out over the pool. There's also a spa in there too. There's even a little garden out here, look. Well, it's been a gorgeous day in Weymouth. The sun is about to set. I think I'll go and get some fish and chips. Tomorrow I'll check out breakfast and a very important fort here in Weymouth. I'll see you in the morning. Last egg. That's a big sausage. So breakfast was actually really nice, and I was very surprised, even though I was late down at around about 10 to 10 when it closes at 10, even though that I got the last egg, the last bit of sausage, the last few bits of bacon, it still tasted pretty good. It's now almost 24 hours that I've been in Weymouth, but my last visit is to Weymouth Fort. This is a must if you come to Weymouth. So much history. It was built back in 1860. There's underground tunnels in there, and then of course there's a lot of history about Weymouth's military past. Let's go check it out. See the Isle of Portland just over there. I'm gonna head down these steps. Now, opening time is 10 AM and I'm eager. Being here just 24 hours, I've only got an hour left. So it opens up at 10. And from here you actually get some amazing shots of Weymouth. So I'm in, and this is very similar to Landguard Fort in Felixstowe, how it goes round in almost like a hexagon stroke, kind of semicircle. Now, before we go up there and check out the view, we're going to go and look down in the nuclear bunker and the underground tunnels. So let's head down. Now I'm in very early. In fact, there's no one else here at the minute. People are literally just arriving. So we've got the underground tunnels to ourselves. Eerie. Really spooky in here. Now the one in Felixstowe isn't this well lit. There's loads of little rooms that you can go in and check out. Little room here. There's a little movie. Now, I'm sure this is safe to touch. I'm not going to touch it, but look at the old wiring. I've always loved the history on the coast and how we defended our shores from the enemy. So these places are always great to come in and have a look around. Oh, it's down here. The water tank. Whoa, look at that. That is well eerie. That is absolutely massive down there. So much bigger than you realise under here. What life was like for children in World War II. Look at the old schoolroom. If you know your history, you'll know that Weymouth was integral to the D-Day landings. Look at that, the US troops just walking along the harbour there. Look at all the barbed wire just going on towards the beach. That's where the pavilion is now. Look at all those ships with all those US troops. Wow. So this is the nuclear shelter. I mean, look at the thickness of that door. Don't know if I'm sure about this. Ghost passage. Okay, so I'm about to go down the ghost tunnel. A little bit nervous because there's nobody else here, so it's just me. I just hope that no one's coming from the opposite direction. It is supposed to be one way. Come on. Now I know what you're going to say, you're being a bit of a wuss, but obviously for the point of filming I need to have a little bit of light. Yeah, you're supposed to go down here in the dark. And if you, sending me, it's very cold down here. Really cold. Really spooky. Almost looks like there's other doors going off. I just want to get out of here really quick. Because it's like when you look behind you, then you look in front of you. I think it's some people's nightmare. You expect to see a jump scare. What's that down there? Oh, I see, hang on. I don't know if you can see that. Phew, I made it. Sounds silly, but actually that made me really scared. I don't like the dark. Definitely a must to go on the underground tunnels because you get a real good sense of and feel of the fort. There's a little cafe here as well. I'm going to get a drink. Let's head up here because you get some amazing views from up the top. Wow, look at these. In some forts around the country, they kind of replace these with plastic ones, but I think these are the real deal. Look at that. Let's go to one of the best views here, which is right at the top of this gun range. And there is Weymouth Harbour. Look at that. Beautiful, especially on a day like today. And from here we can see Portland just over there and the whole fort. That was my 24 hours in Weymouth. Everything that I did and the hotel that I stayed in, all the links are in the description. Just want to say a massive thank you to Visit Weymouth for inviting me down. Just want to say a massive thank you to Pippa as well for sorting everything out for me. And if you want to see more of these videos, do tell me in the comments. Please give the video a thumbs up, and it would mean a lot if you could hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time.